And I'm very, very proud to have this relationship with Lester. I know when it comes to finals time, he's so accountable and he will just give me everything he's got. He can be the last man standing. That's virtually what he is to our group.
Lester Strong, played for Knox Raiders, numbers 44. Came to Australia 6 years ago, which was 2005, sorry. And I ended up out here because of my college coach, and I guess he had just some connections down here, and he pointed me in the right direction.
We were actually looking for a big guy, and I got some of his stats from the big V league that he was playing in that time.
When I played against him, he was a pretty ferocious player. We always used to have to send double teams to him. You know, as a person, really didn't know much about him. I think the biggest surprise with Lester was the fact that he's so competitive and so angry on the court, but yet off the court he's a gentle giant.
He's a huge man, absolutely huge man. He sees his role in the team obviously as an import.
That big smile just makes everybody's job easy around here. He's one of our good guys that we've got here at the club.
For those that know Lester, he's got a very bubbly personality, pretty much 7 days a week.
He was probably one of the quickest 5 men, I think, in the league. Because once he decides to get going, he thinks he's going to get an alley-oop dunk. Like, he could be passing cars.
What you see is what you get. He's larger than life sort of character, very casual off court, all business on court.
You know, when you talk to Lester, he really engages you and you know that he actually cares about what you're thinking, you're talking about and wants to get to know you.
But when it comes to finals time, he just stands up and he is just absolutely magnificent. It's been magnificent for me in 3 lots of finals.
The Knox Raiders 2009, Crazy Jones, SCABO, men's champions.
It was a huge part of us winning the championship. He got a lot of rebounds, you know, scored a lot of points and just played great defence.
I was actually going just to pretty much do my game day routine. I was actually on my way back from having breakfast.
It was a Saturday. It was the 24th of April because we had a home game here on the Saturday night, a doubleheader against Sandringham.
On my way back, yeah, the guy, I'm assuming, or they pretty much told me that the guy ended up having a slight heart attack and just ended up veering into my lane. So it was just one of those 1 in a million kind of things that was going to happen.
And I got a call from CJ and he said, you need to Google map the Alfred Hospital right now. And I said, what for? And he said, Lester's been involved in a car accident.
The only thing I do remember is waking up and being a little startled that the guy was actually reaching over me to undo my seatbelt, and that kind of shocked me, so I kind of had a snap at him. After that, I heard one of the other firefighters or ambulance drivers were saying that they had to cut me out of the car because the way the car was damaged, they couldn't get me out just from the door itself.
It was an awful car ride in because originally what had happened is the police had knocked on CJ's door and the police said, you know, do you know Lester Strong? And they said he's been involved in a serious car accident, and they said it was a suspected broken neck.
The first time I woke up in the hospital, I kind of knew what happened then, but the first question I had to the doctors was pretty much, how was the other driver?
We got to see him and he was in a bad state. He was his face was all cut up.
They said that everything was pretty much going to be okay. There was no fatal injuries except for the burn to my leg and the scar across my face.
I found out early afternoon or middle afternoon on the Saturday when we had to play Sandringham here.
Number 9, sponsored by Jetlag, Big Hill.
I first heard about it when I got to the game that night, and Graham Longstaff came up to me and told me that Leicester had been in an accident and it was pretty serious.
I don't think I coached very well that night at all, and it was all a bit of a blur to me. That doesn't happen to me too often, and I've coached a lot of games.
The crowd was pretty shocked. It was a pretty dull night. We did lose the game, I think, by 8 or 9 points, but there really wasn't much feeling about that game. It was just about, you know, Leicester's recovery.
As soon as they said that I was okay to pretty much leave, I actually wanted to leave the next day.
The level of road trauma he had enabled him to be discharged from hospital relatively early, and he was pretty much under my care probably within a week after the accident. We worked closely with the doctors from the Alfred, and you know, we had our limits set by them, and you know, we worked within them and sometimes beyond them, but that's just Leicester. You never have to encourage the man to do the extra few reps, or to take the challenge of doing a pool session in the morning, do a weight session in the afternoon, come and see me in the afternoon after that.
When I'm having a down day, I usually come in and work out, so it usually gives me a little pickup. I usually just clear my mind. I just leave everything that happens, or you know, good or bad, outside, and when I'm in the gym, it's pretty much just thinking about the gym.
His leg strength was something that we had to work on a lot to try and get it up to the level that he was expecting and he was wanting. He's one of those guys that is a great credit to the club. He's fantastic with the kids at a junior level, and look, overall he's a real credit to his family and to himself.
I always knew if they told me, you know, probably he would miss 10 games, I knew he'd be back within 8.
To me, I thought maybe I was pretty much well to play probably within the first 2.5 weeks, but with the doctors and then my physio, they were pretty much saying a month to about 2 months.
What was the feeling like in the locker room when he came back for his first game after the injury?
I just think everyone expected him to be there. Everyone was so happy for him.
Coming on, number 44, Leicester Strong.
Since the injury, what has been your biggest highlight for Leicester, both on and off the court?
Oh, I'd have to say he's probably 41-point performance against Brisbane.
Leicester Strong.
Look, his highlight would definitely be against Brisbane in the semi-final when he had 41 points.
2 points, Leicester.
All that hard work just sort of culminated in that sort of 40-something point, 18 rebound night that he had.
Did the incident pull your team together?
I would say I think it did, you know, obviously because the respect Leicester has within the group and obviously around the club.
You know, after something like that, you do understand that it's just a game and life is a lot more important, and to be healthy and fit is just, you know, a lot more important than being able to get there on the basketball court and play a game.
Do you ever have like dreams or recollections about it?
I did have a couple dreams, probably a few weeks after, and it was pretty much dreams to where I thought I was pretty much, my body had shut down, maybe my eyes were open and stuff still, because I actually see myself having the accident in my dream, the collision, which I didn't have pretty much when it actually really happened. And that was a little scary. I kind of woke up in a cold sweat.
What do you hope happens next for Leicester Strong?
Oh, that he stays here forever and a day.
I just hope that every year that he plays, he improves.
Personally, for him, that he can maybe get an NBL shot.
I mean, I still have goals to try to get in the NBL, and long term, just pretty much just getting better every day, basketball side and as a person.
You know, if we can keep Leicester and build a couple of guys around him and keep a core group together, you know, we're going to have a great chance of winning another championship here.
And to keep him would be such a benefit for all of our programs. He contributes to every level of our association.
You know, he's one of the guys that if we have 150 kids in for a schools program, he will high-five every 150 kid on the way out.
I can see him having some role probably with maybe some troubled kids or whatever like that after he's finished playing, because he's such a gentleman and just shows so much interest in everyone else.
Has it surprised you at all how other people seem to be taking inspiration from what's happened to you?
It has. I mean, and this is probably the first time I've actually been in something that traumatic. And yeah, just the effect that it's had on just even guys that I've played against, beginning of the game, coming up, shaking my hand, you know, welcome back, things like that. It surprised me quite a bit.
Is there a message that you've taken from your experience that you think other people might be interested in hearing?
Just, you know, whenever you get pushed down or knocked down, just try to pick yourself up and keep going.
Easy as that, mate.
It's just that easy.
Thanks, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Not a problem.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Not a problem at all.
It's just a distant memory for him, but it was a very rude awakening to all the guys and people in general.
Looking back from when I'm driving in the car with CJ and Leilani going to the Alfred Hospital, thinking, is this guy going to walk again, or, you know, what's going on type of thing, to seeing him just absolutely dominate in finals was, yeah, was a great highlight.
Did affect the group because he is a major part of our group and he has a lot of respect within our group.
You know, after something like that, it is easy for someone to drop mentally, I guess, and really give up. But Lester came back really strong, pardon the pun.
He will spill blood if required, so there's never ever an issue of how far, it's just how much that you ask.
He's one tough unit, mate, I'm telling you. One tough unit.